I think I need to tell a lot of people this is that, you know, sometimes the higher spec is not necessarily the best product.
Yeah. But maybe this kind of buyer needs it. You know, they need to have, you know, a Porsche buyer. You cannot have the low spec one.
No, actually, I tell you, not necessary. I realize the Porsche boys are very technical, you know. And I realized one thing. I didn't know this, but when I bought my Boxster, I didn't realize that the facelift is so important compared to the pre-facelift.
Yours is?
Facelift, yeah. But apparently, not just the facelift. The facelift has two difference. One is the S, one is the non-S. The S is direct injection. The non-S does not have direct injection. And it's the non-direct injection one that people prefer in a longevity, because you don't need to take out
to do
the cleaning. Yes.
Yours is?
Is that?
Non-S.
Non-S.
So you lucked out by having...
I lucked out, but didn't realize that.
By being poor.
By being poor, I lucked out because the 2.9, everybody is saying, it's just enough power for you to have fun. You go to a track, then it will falter. But on the road, you can't really ask for it. And here's the thing. Not only do you not need to what? It has lower instances of ball scoring, which is still a problem
to this day for
Porsche. Like, you have your cylinders crash the wall. Is this the 60s? You know what I mean? You know,
does Subaru have that problem?
You know, my mom I don't know. But Subaru has leaking problem. But my mom has recently overheated the Soarer. You saw, right?
Yes.
It didn't score the wall. You know? And you have
a V.
Even though it's a V8, and now you have a Porsche that has a danger of ball scoring for no reason.
Even without
any problem. And my friend, pre-facelift.
Okay, you ball score, does that affect the...
Yeah, because your compression drop. Then your power start dropping.
But your displacement go up,
No.
You create more room inside.
At the side,
2.9 become 3.0.
Then you get oil going in, and then you get explosion going out. But my friend that day, pre-facelift, he was driving it, and he was driving it very hard, and his IMS broke. And
IMS is
the intermediary
management
something. No, it's basically a shaft, a reducing gear shaft that reduces the gear from the engine to the gear. So in the pre-facelift,
because in a Boxster
the gearbox is down here. So it reduces the gear. In pre-facelift, you still have that. In the previous model, which is 986 and 996, this thing fails very often. In 987, this thing fails rare. In 987.2, which is mine, this thing disappeared. No more. They don't need it already. They have a new mechanism. Alright? So my friends want this thing, and here's the thing, in a pre-facelift cannot change one. At least in the older model, can change. 987 cannot change.
Then you have to change the whole engine or transmission?
He changed the whole engine. One spirited drive, he comes back, I don't know how much, but I suspect easily 30,000.
Can he put it in your engine?
I cannot. Because wiring, harness, everything different. Position of gearbox completely different. The weight distribution also different. This is why sometimes it pisses me off when people tell me, hey, Toyota could do engineering in the Supra by adding the roof. Porsche completely reorient the entire engine.
Every variant there's a different.
Yeah, and they never make a big deal out of it. Until I, as an owner also, after so many years, only people start talking about it. Actually, number one, ball scoring does not happen with the facelift. And number two, there is no IMS, so IMS failure completely eliminated.
So even though you have problems, you lucked out.
I lucked out.
The kind of problems.
Yeah.
And it's still not cheap to maintain.
Yeah, it's still not cheap to maintain. Who told you Porsche was easy to maintain? Has never owned a Porsche. Anyone who's driven a Cayenne should know. My cousin, he said, the Cayenne I just buy to play. It's so cheap, 40,000, I just buy. He said, within 2 years I repaired the car more than 40,000 ringgit.
Hey, that's still okay. 2 years, 40,000.
He'd use it to play.
Weekend.
He jack up the car, he go off-road.
Oh.
For weekend only, he doesn't even drive it daily, and it's 40,000. For 2 years, it's crazy lah. Gila lah. That's why the BMW and Mercedes are that, because they look at Porsche and go like, he can, why I cannot?
Let me do a bit.
Yeah.
You know the last car, when we brought the EMEA, I was like, we made it.
Yeah, now
we made it.
Even though it's cheaper.
Yeah, that's one thing you gotta take note of.
Yeah.
The other thing is you just cover the car.
Yeah.
Normal car cover. That's the cheapest solution actually.
Yeah. But actually in Malaysia, covering car is not good.
Yeah, because you trap the.
Yeah, you trap the
humidity
moisture. A lot of people don't realize this. They rust even with cover without exposure to sun. Not like in the desert where you can leave it out there and it will just patina, right?
Patina. yeah. Only the paint will fade.
Only the paint will fade only. Aid.
You there? I don't want to be the first person to take the car and then no one else to take the car. We have the only review. This is how we become the number one media.
Because nobody else gets to review the car.
I don't dare, man. I don't dare. Let me see what I can do. Okay, I'll turn off lane departures.
Okay, of course. That one has to lah.
Yeah. Overspeed is off. Forward collision, I leave that on.
Okay.
That's for like last minute. Rear drive assist, can leave it on. Yeah, that's it. That's all they let you play with.
Oh. Wow.
But
it takes a team of person to constantly be on a track, push it right at the limit, and make small adjustment to make it better at that limit, to make it better at that limit.
Yeah.
And that's why you get BMWs, right? Why BMW drivers, they don't like to go to the left lane, don't like to do signal. It's because that instrument is made for that level of operation, which is at high speed.
Yeah.
And then when you hog up the right lane, a BMW is an instrument in a wrong application.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
When you force him to slow down and regain his momentum, it loses the magic.
Yeah, it loses the magic. It becomes not nice.
Yeah.
Now a lot of people say, why BMW drivers like that? In a way, it's the car.
Yeah.
The car make you like that.
Yes.
You have to override the instinct.
Yeah. And in fact, what you say exactly translates to my experience with this car. Because yesterday I was on the Kesas, going right lane pretty fast, not to say full speed. And then a BMW i4,
right.
The electric one, comes up behind me and like you can see like he wants to go faster. And after a while of driving, I was just like, this car is not inspiring me to do anything crazy.
Yeah.
So I just let him just overtake.
Oh, lizard! Oh, die way. Wow, somebody's gonna run over the fella.
Poor guy. Don't die on Hari Raya.
Yo, somebody's gonna have lizard curry.
Yeah. So